I told you it was coming. Well, here it is. An entire video all about hostel etiquette. Because some of y'all were raised in a barn. Hello everybody, welcome to the One Step at a Time YouTube channel. My name is Garrett. I make videos here on YouTube for beginner travelers just like me. Now, a very intimidating part of travel, especially if you've never done it before, is staying in a hostel. Now, in other places, it's a little more of a thing, but in America, not so much. So when I told people I was staying in a hostel, I got a lot of weird looks. And like anything, it's just something you get used to. Now, I love staying in hostels. I like the vibe. I like being around people, especially if I'm solo traveling. But hostels are definitely not hotels, and there's just certain stuff that you need to know. So this is a video all about what to do in a hostel. So you're in your hostel room and you got bunk beds, and there's maybe 6 or 8 people to a room, so you're pretty crammed in there. So if you have 2 beds and you're the bottom bunk or the top bunk, don't be a spreader. If you are staying on the top bunk, like I was a lot, top bunk, the bottom bunk is not yours. Don't sit on it, don't put your stuff on it, don't put your feet on it. There's a ladder or something else, just don't put your feet on that bed. It's not your bed. Nothing is more awkward than walking into a hostel room and seeing somebody's stuff on your bed and being like, excuse me, can you move your stuff please? So don't spread. When I was in Boston one night, I was on the bottom and this dude on the top for one night just had all of his wet clothes hanging on the bar there, and they were hanging down into my space. So every time I got out of my bed, I had to move his like wet clothes to get to my bed. That space is not yours. Another thing about being in a shared room, and I'm gonna give you both sides of this coin. If it's late at night and you're not sleeping, be quiet. I can't tell you how many times people just like walk in, they just start talking, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're having a full conversation. Just shush. And the other side of that, if it's like 11 o'clock in the morning and you're still sleeping, don't get mad if I turn on the light. It's 11 o'clock. Wake up. I got things to see, I got places to do. So just remember that you're in a room with other people who are on different schedules, so try to be mindful of that. And here's another little tip. It doesn't really affect me too much, but I know it affects other people, so I'm gonna say it. Again, with tight quarters, try not to spray any perfume or deodorant or body spray in the room. Go to the hallway. You never know who's gonna have a reaction or who just doesn't like the smell. Save yourself the trouble, go in the bathroom. Now let's talk about the common areas. The first thing I would do when you get to a new hostel is just kind of scope it out and see what the rules are for the common areas, because they can vary from place to place. I've stayed in places before that had staff that would take your dirty dishes and wash them, and I've stayed in places that you wash your own dishes. So just keep an eye out for that, because you don't want to be the person that leaves the dishes on the table when you have to wash them yourself, because then you're the asshole. Now, I usually spend a lot of my time in the common areas because I'm by myself. So I'll go out there with the book or my writing journal, just kind of hang out in there. And this is a good tip if you're traveling alone. Make yourself open to conversation. Sometimes you'll get people who are aggressively antisocial and they'll like huddle up in the corner, the headphones on, not looking at you. And if you don't want to talk to anybody, that's fine, that's great. But if you're by yourself and you want to meet some friends, open yourself up to other people. Maybe do somebody a favor. When I was in Barcelona, they made dinner for us one day at the hostel, and I picked up this girl's plate who was done. I was just like, are you finished? And I grabbed it and took it to the kitchen and washed it. And because I did that, she then invited me to play a game of dice with her and her friends. So I spent the whole evening playing this game with people from all over the world, just because I watched this girl's dish. That was the icebreaker we needed to start playing this game. If you've never been to a hostel before, then you probably wouldn't know, but usually the hostel has a lot of events, or they work with somebody who offers those events. There's always something going on. Usually walking tours, dinner parties. In Boston, there was a boat cruise. So know when those events are and take advantage of those events, because they're usually pretty cheap and pretty fun. And when you're out with those people, you already have an icebreaker. You're already staying at the same hostel. You'll be like, oh, you're staying at the high? I'm staying at the high. Why are you here? Boom, boom, boom. Conversation has started. So always check out the events. People go to hostels for different reasons. Some people are just there because it's cheap and to bed for a night. Some people are there to meet other people. So it's really important to check out what kind of hostel you're staying at before you book it. It'll alleviate a lot of these problems. If you're a businessman looking for like a one-night stay and you end up in like a 10-bed party hostel situation, that's not gonna work for you. You're gonna be up all night. Or if you're there to party and it's all pensioners, you're gonna be equally as disappointed. So make sure you know the vibe of the hostel kind of before you go. Usually that's all online. They'll brand themselves in a certain way, or there'll be pictures of their events, the decor, and you'll kind of get a sense of what it's like. Because when there's that many people in such a small space, you really want to stay with people who are like-minded. And really my overall tip for hostels is just be considerate of other people and be ready to have a good time. If you're grumpy, you're not gonna have a good time. All right, well, I hope you liked that video. If you do, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave your hostel tips in the description below. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.